BBC Sounds across the UK.
This is BBC 5 Live with Stephen Nolan.
Right, good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us. It's newspaper time. Our regular reviewers, Edwina Curry and Mohammed Shafiq, with us tonight. Hello, Edwina.
Hello there.
Hello there. And hello, Mohammed.
Good evening, Stephen.
Good evening
Hi,
to you. And Mohammed, first of all, we're sorry to hear of your loss. You lost your grandmother.
I
Sorry
did,
to hear about this.
Thank you for that, Stephen. Yeah, she passed away on Monday. And I know you were talking about deaths, and you were talking about how people are coping. We as a family decided that we didn't want to admit her to hospital because there was nothing they could do for her. And we wanted, to stop the pressure on the NHS. And we decided that we'll keep her at home, and she died peacefully on Monday morning. So it was peaceful.
And is that a decision, Mohammed, you would have made, do you feel, if coronavirus hadn't have been in the world?
No, I don't think we would have. I think the very fact that she would have been alone and in hospital, there was no visiting allowed, no family members. It was clear that, if she was going to die, she was going to be on her own, and we didn't want that. We wanted all the family to be around her. And it was, the whole family was around her, and she was blessed in that sense. Unlike a lot of other people in the NHS who are, I've got an auntie in hospital with the coronavirus in Birmingham, and no families allowed. So, and I know it's affecting a lot of families under pressure on the NHS.
And was your grandmother in a position, Mohammed, that she was able to give an opinion on this herself? Yeah,
I think she had pneumonia, and when we broached the topic with her, she said she didn't want to be resuscitated. She had a good life, and she wanted, to be sent on her way, and she got that.
Difficult situation, Mohammed, obviously.
It is, yeah.
Because the whole instinct is, if someone's sick, isn't it, is get into hospital and try to preserve life.
Yeah, and we were conscious of the fact she didn't have coronavirus herself, apart from a pneumonia, an advanced heart failure. There wasn't nothing the NHS could have done for her. And in the times we lived, there was huge pressure on the NHS. And we just felt that, we needed to help the NHS, but also, make her feel comfortable and, know that the whole family was around her.
So you and your grandmother,
really important.
You and your family and your grandmother weighed up the prospect of your grandmother being in a hospital and likely dying alone against against having her loved ones around her.
Yeah, I think that was a real big thing for us. My auntie wanted her to go into hospital, and myself, I was adamant that that wasn't an option for us because we knew that we didn't want her to die alone. And that's a decision, Stephen, families are making up and down this country and around the world. And there are so many people dying alone in hospitals. They got the best care that they could, but sadly you're not making it. And we just didn't want, her to die alone. And it was really peaceful. I was able to hold her hand and, be with her, lie with her, and she peacefully passed away.
How old was she, Mohammed?
She was 93, so she had a real good life, Stephen.
Edwina?
She was the same age as my mother, who passed away in 2004, and you've taken me straight back to sitting with her in the hospital in her last few hours. Mohammed, I've already said to you, I wish you long life and all your family. These are very hard decisions, and all my instincts are that you did absolutely the right thing, that she was with the family, and that's the most peaceful way to pass. To be in a hospital, especially if you can't have visitors, especially if everybody's all gowned and masked, especially with the atmosphere of tension there's bound to be in our hospitals at the moment. That's really not the best environment. If you add to that many older people, perhaps with dementia, get very confused, you want to make the last few days of life as comfortable, as serene if possible.
Where my mind is going with this, Mohammed, is certainly not about your situation where your grandmother had a loving family around her, and there was the capacity for your grandmother and the family to help her make a decision. But where my mind is going is what for the elderly person that still has capacity, but they don't have a family around them, and what protections are there for them not to feel that they are putting the NHS under undue pressure, because they are entitled to treatment as much as anyone else.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and each family will make their own decisions. But there are those people who don't have any family who will be anxious about wanting to go into the NHS, in this current crisis, and I think that's a real big worry for people. But in the end, each people is going to have to make a decision based in terms of treatment. In my case, there was no treatment. It was just about making her feel comfortable, and we felt the home was the best place for that. But in some cases, you'll have people who are ill, who can get better, who need treatment, and should go to hospital.
Okay. Well, listen, again, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you, sir.
Let's begin the paper review.